Yeah, just past the halfway point on the Sportsmax Zone for this Wednesday. Basketball now, the race for playoff places could not be tighter in the NBA right now, especially in the Western Conference where every result matters with no more than 3 games remaining for each team. And we have the highlights from one of those important Western clashes, the Los Angeles Lakers traveling to Utah to take on the Jazz.
LeBron James and the LA Lakers put together a bit of a win streak as they take on the Utah Jazz. We start things off. Austin Reeves got a great idea. Get it to LeBron. LeBron throws that thing down on the alley-oop. 38-35 Lakers in front. Ochai Agbaji making a pull-up jumper. He had 22 points and 4 rebounds for Utah, but the Lakers still up by 3. Talen Horton-Tucker, former Laker, big one-handed stuff here. But it's the Lakers still up by 7. Off a turnover, the Lakers go the other way. LeBron gets the no-look dish to Anthony Davis, who just trucks home and throws that one down for LA. We go to the second half now, and LeBron drives in for the two-handed stuff. Then it's LeBron feeding Austin Reeves for the lay-in. Reeves finding the lane well and then just quickly going up and getting that one in. Then Dennis Schroeder swings it to Reeves in the corner for the 3. How about Austin Reeves? What a discovery. 28 points and 6 assists in the game. Lakers by 10. Kelly Olynyk, pull-up 3 goes down. He had 23 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Lakers lead down to 2, less than a minute to go. Now Damian Jones ties the game at the free throw line, but Dennis Schroeder finds a cutting LeBron for the layup to win this thing, but he can't get it to go, so we go into overtime in the OT. LeBron nonplussed about missing that layup, so he's just going to go in and dunk this one home. Then it's James again driving in for the layup. 37 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds in the game. Lakers up 135-133. Talen Horton-Tucker drives in and tries to tie things up. Can't get the shot to go down, so the Lakers get out of there with a 2-point win. Your final score in this one, 135-133.
Yeah, or liquid refreshment sponsoring the NBA segment here on the Sportsmax Zone. And our NBA expert, Alistair Albert, joins us now. Alistair, they struggled early, but can the Lakers now have a genuine title hope? You addressed that, I think it was late last week, and you made a comment about them obviously being a better team now, and you weren't thinking of them as title contenders, but I'm giving you an opportunity with the momentum building to revisit your thoughts on the LA Lakers. Especially we have Leighton Levy on the show today. He's a big Lakers fan.
Leighton and Ricardo, if I don't say something good, I'm going to be in big trouble. But the Lakers, man, they're playing really well, like I said. So they're like just half a game back from the 5th seed. So, you know, they've kind of just come from right at the bottom of the standings, 13th seed, I think they were at the lowest point, to come all the way back to kind of get to a position where they could actually fight for the 5th seed. And yeah, they're right now, I think it's a situation of trying to understand which path might be the best for them. If they could probably land in the 6th seed and play the Sacramento Kings, most people think the Sacramento Kings at the top of the Western Conference side of the bracket is probably the weakest of the top teams, which is a bit weird to say because they're the first in offensive rating. They've been playing remarkably well. Mike Brown has done a tremendous job with this team. Domantas Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, all these guys have played tremendously. If the Lakers were to end up in the 6th seed, you know, they probably would have a really good fighting chance of getting past the first round and kind of taking their chances moving forward. If they end up in the 5th seed and playing the Suns, that's a whole different ball game because I'm not sure how they will be able to go against Kevin Durant's Devin Booker, who probably should have been in the MVP conversation after playing so well this season, but eventually got hurt and everything. So it's all about who they play first in this first round and the momentum they could carry. And I'll also say one thing. I have no idea how LeBron is playing at the level that he is right now. Coming off Achilles, a partially torn Achilles tendon, for him to be as explosive, jumping and taking alley-oops the way that he is, scoring 37 points, helping the team that he is remarkable. So if they can continue that and keep that synergy that they're playing with, it's anyone's guess right now how far they could go.
The Lakers are on a 7-3 run, and of course, you know, we've seen the team look like they're really finding that chemistry that's essential for these wins. How key is it that they keep on winning with the 3 matches left. They have a tough game against New Orleans coming up, to get into the playoffs and carry that momentum with them into the playoffs.
Yeah, the momentum is going to be really important for them because, like you said, the chemistry has been totally disrupted and in a basically disarray the entire season. And I'd even counter that comment on chemistry because I don't think they've really had it throughout the season. What has happened is you've seen Anthony Davis kind of step into the role I think they envisioned for him once they traded for him after they won the championship in 2020. You know, that dominant role since LeBron has been out at the start of this year. They've been 13-6, he's averaging 28, 12, and 3. You know, hitting a lot of career high marks in that stretch. And, you know, he's just been able to just put the team on his shoulders and do a lot of what we expect. We have guys like Austin Reeves, who's been playing, like, he's kind of come out of nowhere. He's like a cult favorite now, and even has gotten a signature shoe deal off the back of his recent strong play. So, you know, it's these guys coming in and getting the repetitions, and Darvin Ham giving them the trust to kind of do the things that they're doing, you know, despite maybe a lack of chemistry. And if they could kind of just keep what they have going and bottle whatever it is that they have right now and continue to just use it, I think the momentum could kind of build to a point that they could kind of maybe even upset a few teams who probably wouldn't have expected them to be in the position that they're in now and give them a real fight for their money. And
they're also dependent a lot on Anthony Davis staying healthy, which is something that he has a challenge doing with the last few seasons as well.
Throughout his whole career.
Okay, so the Lakers, Alistair, weren't the only... You were saying?
But I was saying, remember some time ago we had a joke when I said he should have gotten a milk sponsorship? It seems like he probably got something in now. I really think so.
Okay, well, Minute Maid, Powerade, and Dasani sponsor this segment, so that's what he'll have to stick to.
That's true.
Okay,
true.
So the Lakers, Alistair, weren't the only title hopefuls in action on Tuesday as defending champions Golden State Warriors hosted the Oklahoma City Thunder. Here's how that one went.
The Golden State Warriors looking to avoid the play-in, taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder in that play-in range as well. You saw Steph Curry, you saw Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's a look at SGA in the paint, a little fadeaway jumper. Goes down, then same guy, similar result. This time he's going baseline for the jumper. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 32 points and 7 assists in the game. And OKC up by a half dozen. Steph's got 3 right here, cutting the lead down to 2, 31-29. Then when Steph's missing, Gary Payton II has his back as he attacks the rack, just crashing the offensive boards, get the rebound throw down here. Then it's Curry again lining up a three-pointer, and he doesn't miss a lot of them. So this one goes down, but OKC still in front by 3. Isaiah Joe now going left for the Thunder, and this little lefty lay-in draws a foul as well. Then it's Jalen Williams outside knocking down the 3, and OKC led it by 10 at the half, 79-69. Third quarter, Steph Curry going to work. Little sidestep three-pointer, and this is a good result for Steph. He knocks down the 3. Golden State down by 4. Moses Moody lines up a 3. That cuts the lead down to 1. SGA dishing to Lou Dort for the tough hanging layup, and Oklahoma City up by 6. We're in the fourth quarter, the lead down to 3. Jordan Poole hits a deep 3 to tie the game. Then Jordan Poole drives in for the layup to give the Warriors their first lead of the game, and it's midway through the fourth quarter. Steph Curry working on a step-back 3, 34 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Golden State up by 3. Then Curry to Jordan Poole, who pulls on a 3 and knocks it down. He had 30 points and 4 assists, and Golden State gets an 11-point comeback win. Your final score, 136-125.
Yeah, and seeing that the Warriors will be welcoming back Andrew Wiggins to their lineup seemingly soon, can they defend the championship? Alistair, before you answer that question, a quick reference to the Andrew Wiggins issues. He met the press in the past 24 hours, and he has been absent because of some undisclosed reasons. And we got the impression at the press conference that Bob Myers, the head of basketball operations at Golden State, was complimentary of the media for how they have treated this Wiggins story. He actually suggested that he thinks a lot of them knew exactly what was happening with Wiggins, but they have decided not to highlight it because apparently some family issue and so on. What's your take on this Wiggins story?
There were so many things allegedly being said on social media. I think
Yes.
at one point his wife or his girlfriend, his significant other came out and said, the internet is just really a nasty place because the sort of speculation that was going around as to what the situation was with him. But, hearing what you just said there, because I haven't really been around to see much of the press conferences today or from last night, to be quite honest. If the press had kind of known what was going on and had kind of kept it, because this has probably been like the best kept secret since he's been out in the
and
NBA.
that's unlike Alistair, that's unlike the American media, because they usually are very insensitive to athletes in these positions because their thing is to get the stories out.
Exactly, and this is a guy who played remarkably well in the NBA Finals last year. He was even at a point was even kind of mentioned for the Finals MVP. So he's really important to this team defensively and what he could bring offensively, up to 20 points a game when he's on the court. So yeah, it's really good to see him come back. Of course there will be a ramp up period. There are 2 games left against the Kings and the Blazers. Maybe he might be able to get in there and get his legs under him. And of course the practices that Steve Kerr will put him under. Once he's back, he's probably going to give them a lot more of a better chance to contend. So let's see what happens as he gets back.
The West is seen this year as the weaker of the two conferences. Of course, the Milwaukee Bucks are going to be pretty much the top seed because they're the best record in the NBA. But can this Warriors team go in against, let's say, get to the finals and get to a face up against the Bucks and pull off victory, given how well the Bucks have been playing all season?
I never underestimate the heart of the champion. That's the phrase that's kind of been thrown around everywhere. And these guys have done it before. Their core is still intact. Of course, they have quite a few new role players around them who are supposedly as hungry and everything, but they haven't played really well this season. They have like an atrocious road record, and going on the road, as a team that doesn't have home court advantage will hurt them. But again, this is a team that has had lots of injuries. We just spoke about Andrew Wiggins coming back into the fold. If these guys can hit their stride and bring that championship pedigree and focus in, they could cause quite a lot of trouble. They are probably the wildest of the wild cards in the West, in the wild West, who could kind of really throw things out of kilter for lots of different teams who think they have a chance. But of course, this is not an upset situation. These are the defending champions. The respect is due to them. And, you still have Steph Curry, who's playing remarkably well. He's shooting lights out. He's just doing everything that he can. Draymond Green had a really lovely game last night. And if the rest of these guys could just play as they are, they could be trouble for anyone.
Yeah, Alistair, I was asked yesterday about the Golden State Warriors and their position, and I just felt that this is a team that can change gears. And I think that what we've seen from them in the past 2 or 3 months is nowhere near what we can see of them. And I think there's some confidence coming out of the GSW at the moment that, heading into the playoffs, they'll be pretty tough.
Make no mistake about it. You see what happened to Draymond Green at the preseason with Jordan Poole? That kind of affected the team. But I think a lot of people think this might be the last time we see this iteration of this team. This core could be blown up. Draymond Green is up for an extension, and that hasn't been addressed yet. Maybe he might be moved. He was, of course, the Golden State Warriors, of course, favored Jordan Poole and given him that massive contract extension. Can they actually give him a contract that he liked? So, this might be the last time this team is as it is. So bear that in mind as these playoffs go on, because I think they're going to come together and play as hard as you've probably ever seen them, in their championship years, to try to defend and try to still gain more respect in this run. So, they're not going to be a team to be trifled with and to think that they could be walked over despite the inconsistency this year. They're going to be a tough out and a tough matchup for anyone they face.
Yeah, agree with you 100%, Alistair. Always great talking the NBA with you on the Sports Mac Zone. Continue to enjoy your vacation in your native St. Lucia.
That's it. No problem, guys. See you next time.
Okay. Before we go, let's see the other results now from Tuesday's action in the NBA. The 76ers over the Celtics. Victories for the Cavs, the Raptors, the Bucks, and the Heat over the Magic, Hornets, Wizards, and Pistons. The Timberwolves, 107-102 over the Nets. The Rockets winning over the Nuggets, 124-103. The Hawks over the Bulls. The Grizzlies beating the Trailblazers. The Kings beating the Pelicans by 18. The Lakers in OT over the Utah Jazz. The Warriors 136-125 over OKC Thunder, and the Suns with the Bahamian DeAndre Ayton getting a game-high 11 rebounds and clinching their spot in the playoffs. The Suns 115-94 over the Spurs. NBA action continuing on your home of champions this Thursday. And here's a match that you'll see. The Cavs against Orlando Magic, 7 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time, 6 o'clock in Jamaica. Two other games. Those will be on Sportsmax. The first one on Sportsmax 2. The Heat against the 76ers and the Nuggets against the Suns. Back with more on The Zone after this.